So today I'm going to be reviewing the OnePlus Pad 2, and this tablet is amazing, and it's really a terrific value. But the question a lot of you watching this are going to ask, is this a tablet that I should buy? How does it compare with other tablets like the Galaxy Tab S9 or the S9 Plus? And I'm going to do a lot of comparisons, and I'm going to be doing a full review on this tablet to let you know if it is worth buying. So with all that being said, let's get right into it, and let's talk about the OnePlus Pad 2. So the OnePlus Pad 2, they are really trying to provide a device that is a flagship killer. They're really trying to provide a much better value than the Samsung Galaxy tablets. And honestly, OnePlus did succeed with that. We get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor here. The retail price is $500 for this tablet, and we get 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. That is in the US model at least, but still, we get a lot with this tablet that really makes it exciting, because not only does it retail for $500, which is much cheaper than those other Galaxy tablets that are flagship, but OnePlus also does offer an extra $50 off if you recycle any device at all. You don't even have to select a direct device on the list. You could just put that you're wanting to recycle something. That extra $50 off plus extra discounts that you might receive from OnePlus, like signing up for their emails, for example, that does get you a little bit of a discount code. So there are some ways to really bring this tablet down even further, to bring it under $500. So when you're looking at these type of specs for under $500, that is just all around impressive. But OnePlus, what they did here, they did cut a few corners, and I don't even want to say quality wise, but they are trying to save some money on some things. So you do have some compromises that are very minor, but still they are compromises nonetheless. And you are going to have to ask yourself as a buyer, do I want the very best, or do I want the best value? Do I want the very best tablet out, like the Tab S10 that is coming soon, or the Tab S9 Ultra, the Tab S9 Plus? Or am I willing to sacrifice just a few minor things to save some money? Because if you look at the design of this device, you're gonna see it is phenomenal. The speakers are amazing. They are not a compromise. You get 2 speakers on each side, and they are very, very loud. But if you look at the fingerprint sensor, you're gonna find there is none, because there is only face unlock to unlock your tablet. So if you are someone who really loves having a fingerprint sensor in your screen, or maybe you love having a fingerprint sensor in the power button, you're not gonna find any of those options here. But if you're in even decent lighting, the face unlock is going to unlock very, very fast, and that was more than good enough for me. We also do have the ability to connect a keyboard cover, which is again a great option. They do sell the keyboard cover for $150, but they do often discount it if you are buying it with the tablet, because it's a 12.1-inch tablet, so that means you get more than enough space for a very large keyboard cover. The travel is great on the keys. I think the touchpad is actually pretty decent. So overall, it's actually a better experience than I would find on the keyboard cover for a Samsung Galaxy tablet. But there's no backlighting, and even though it has Bluetooth, that's right, this keyboard cover has Bluetooth. The one negative is that you can't turn it off unless you go into your tablet settings. So what that means is, if you're actually using the keyboard cover and you actually have it connected to your tablet, whenever you unattach it or whenever you bring it away from your tablet, you're gonna find that there is no option to turn it off. Your keyboard cover is going to be on, and if you want to turn it off, you're gonna have to go into your settings manually, and you're gonna have to go to the Bluetooth settings and detach the keyboard cover from there. Otherwise, if you just want to use this device as a tablet by itself, well, the keyboard cover is constantly gonna think it's connected, and that is very, very annoying, and I wish there was a way to fix it. So again, a very minor thing. If you're willing to go into the settings anyway, or turn off your Bluetooth, or detach it from your Bluetooth settings, then sure, you're going to be able to get along just fine. It's just gonna take a couple extra steps, but it's one minor compromise. So whether it's the keyboard cover, or whether it's the design, or even the display, these are amazing things. Like, you're getting such a good value. You're getting even extra features that you don't get from Samsung, like the Bluetooth. You're getting a face unlock that is better than almost anything. You're getting a premium design, a premium build, great speakers, and you get a great display here, by the way, with a great resolution. So the display has a 3000 by 2120 resolution. The resolution is phenomenal, and we often say that it does actually cost a little more if you do want a larger tablet. We often pay for screen size with tablets, like the Tab S9 Plus, for example. It does cost more than the Tab S9. So if you're comparing the OnePlus Pad 2, remember that size-wise, it's actually better to compare it to the Tab S9 Plus, and in that sense, you're getting a great value because we do get that larger display that can fit a larger keyboard cover, and if you are watching entertainment or media, we're actually seeing a great resolution on a big display. It gets about 900 nits of peak brightness, so it is actually very, very bright. So I do enjoy this display a lot, and everything looks great, but some people are gonna get caught up on this because this is not an AMOLED screen. It is an IPS screen, so I do understand that some of you would really, really want an AMOLED screen here. But that's really one of the only larger compromises they made, and I don't even know if I would call it a large compromise. Some of you just demand an AMOLED display in every great phone or great tablet that you buy, but it's really not that big of a deal. Like the screen, it does look very good. The resolution is great. So for me, I don't really care all that much that it's not AMOLED. Of course, it's nice to have, and it's a nice perk, but whenever I consider the price and the value of this tablet, I still think that the display is still pretty great. This device also has great performance because it does have that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. In the United States, we get 12 gigabytes of RAM. Some other places might start out with the base model with 8 gigs, but still the performance here is phenomenal. It's gonna be about as good as you could get. So I love that we get a device that performs so well in a tablet for such a reasonable price. It is such a good thing because I was able to use this tablet to actually edit a video with LumaFusion. It did work pretty well overall. It's not quite as optimized yet with LumaFusion as it is on an iPad, but I was able to do some video editing on it. I was able to really push this tablet to its limits, and I was able to go from app to app as I was switching around, just surfing the web or going through the news. There's all types of things that I might do on my tablet. And this tablet with a 144 Hertz refresh rate, it is going to feel so smooth when you're doing just about anything. And the software is also pretty smooth as well. I really do like the software here from OnePlus. This tablet does also have great battery life. It does have a 9,510 milliamp battery, and that battery is going to be more than enough to give you good battery life on a tablet. It's not going to be great or phenomenal. It's not a 12,000 milliamp battery, but it is still a decent battery size for the screen size we have here. So there is one other thing I need to talk about, and it's a pretty big compromise from OnePlus. It's the way it actually handles apps that aren't meant to work in landscape mode. So a lot of you know that on Android, there are a lot of phone apps that are just meant to work with your phone. Think of like a fast food app, for example. A lot of fast food app makers, they're not gonna make a tablet mode for that, but some of us still want to use those apps on a tablet. And even something like UPS or FedEx or USPS, a lot of those mail carriers even, they have apps that only work in portrait mode. They only work in a mode like a phone where it goes up and down. So whenever you try to open those apps on the OnePlus Pad, for whatever reason, it forces those apps to work in portrait mode, which means if you have the keyboard cover like this, you're gonna have to flip around your tablet and then just use your tablet like this to get through that app. That is very annoying, especially for a lot of us who are trying to get productive on our tablets. If you have a keyboard cover connected and then you're constantly having to flip around your tablet to use a few apps, it's very annoying. Now, Samsung did fix this problem. They do have some settings that could actually force apps to work in landscape mode. Even the Google Pixel tablet has forced a lot of apps to work in landscape mode. And even if you don't get the full app, maybe they put black bars on the side, at least you get to use the app in landscape mode in some fashion, and that's all I really want. But OnePlus, they only allow you to force those apps into landscape mode if they're like 4 or 5 different apps. Like out of all of the apps I've downloaded, I think there were only like 5 or 6 apps that it actually gave me proper settings to change it to force it into landscape mode, if that makes sense. So long story short, the software is still not here with the OnePlus Pad 2. Now you can get around almost all of those things by just opening up a web browser. You could just go to those websites anyway. Now if you are a tech nerd like me, you could probably look on Reddit, and I will put a link for this in the description. Apparently there is a way to force a command. You send one of those, I believe it's called an ADB command. You just send it to the tablet, and it does actually force all of your apps to work in landscape mode no matter what. And I did that, and it works. But your average user is not going to want to do that. So OnePlus, it's not that hard. If I could send one command to my tablet through my computer, surely you could do the same thing to all of your tablets before they ship, because I know your average person would like all of their apps to work in landscape mode. So that could be seen as a minor compromise. It could be seen as a big compromise. But when we look at everything with this tablet, when we look at the fact that this tablet does actually charge very quickly as well. This tablet does charge at a 67-watt wired charging speed. So if you factor that in, it has better charging speeds than Samsung. It has a flagship chip, just like the Samsung Tab S9 lineup. You get a bigger screen, so if you're gonna compare the screen size here, you might as well compare it to the Tab S9 Plus, which is like right around $1,000, right? So you're getting this for half the price, and you're getting a tremendous display, 144 Hertz on the refresh rate, 12 gigs of RAM in the base model, 256 gigs of storage in the base model, again, at least in the US. So you're getting a lot of great things. A great resolution on this display. It's not just 1080p, it's even better than that. You're also getting just so many little extras, like the keyboard cover, the fact that it could work with Bluetooth, the fact that the keyboard cover, if you do buy it separately, you might get a nice discount on it. The fact that the keyboard cover also, it just has better travel on the keys than a Samsung keyboard cover. And the ability to use it detached from the tablet and still use the keyboard, it's all tremendous. Now there are those compromises with no fingerprint sensor. That could be a bummer. But we still get great Face Unlock. We don't get an AMOLED display here. But if you could deal with some of those minor things or the software thing, a few apps might force themselves into portrait mode. Well, those things aren't a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. I know we don't have Samsung DeX here. Some of you prefer that in a tablet. So yeah, there is some stuff that we have to deal with, but in exchange, you're getting one of the best Android tablets that you could buy right now for ridiculously cheap. You're saving hundreds of dollars. And that's what OnePlus is about. Just like the OnePlus 12 is a great phone, and it gives you like 90% of what the S24 Ultra gives you, you're getting a very great value here. You're getting about 80 or 90% of what you'll get in a premium Galaxy tablet. So I know the Galaxy Tab S10 is coming soon, or the S10 Plus. I'm not actually sure if the regular S10 is coming at all, but I know the S10 Plus, the S10 Ultra are coming maybe in October. I know we have a lot of great things going on, a lot of great sales with the Tab S9 lineup. Maybe you'll find some of those open box. But when we look at the OnePlus Pad 2, I do think it's a terrific value. So would I recommend this tablet? Absolutely. I would recommend it for those of you looking for a great bargain. If you're looking to save some money, the OnePlus Pad 2 is going to be a great option for you. But if those compromises I talked about, if they're a little too much, then you might want to go with something a little more flagship. Now you might wonder, what about the S9 FE or the S9 FE Plus? I know the S9 FE Plus is going to be right around the same price as this. And I would say, simply put, this is going to be faster than the S9 FE Plus. I would say the display is going to be better than the S9 FE Plus. It's going to have better specs. And this tablet will also be supported, not quite as long as Samsung tablets, but it will be pretty close. So this is going to have better hardware than the S9 FE Plus. But the S9 FE Plus, one thing that it has going for it is water resistance, and that tablet is also going to have Samsung DeX. It has an S Pen in the box. So if you're someone who wants a pen in the box, well, that's going to save you money from having to buy a separate stylus. If you're someone who likes Samsung DeX, that really does help people to get productive. So I do think there are some reasons to get the S9 FE Plus, but I think the overall better hardware is going to be here. But the S9 FE Plus will lot better software. It will handle apps that often don't want to work in landscape mode. It's going to handle all those things a little bit better. So I really just think it depends on who you are and what you prefer with this. Or if you're trying to decide between this and a flagship, you have to ask yourself, what compromises am I willing to deal with? And do I want better hardware or do I want better software? And hopefully OnePlus does release more updates and fix some of those things anyway. So hopefully this review has helped you out. If you really like it, give me a like. Please, that would mean a lot to my channel to give me a like, but also to give me a sub. That is a great way to support my channel. Another way to support me is to use links in the description. I will have various links down there where you could purchase this. I will even put what's called a split link. If you sign up for Split, it's actually a different affiliate site, but you actually can participate and we can actually split the commission on this OnePlus Pad, which is a really cool thing. They actually allow us to split it that way. You could support me and I could support you by giving you a little bit back as well. So feel free to check all those links. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you get more time, I have a lot of Android tablet content. Feel free to check it out on my channel.